Are you one who prefers the finer things in life? Well, stick around because you might enjoy what I'm showing you today. Back in the early 90s, Phoenix Gold had the world's most expensive amplifier at $125,000, 6-channel, 75 watts by 6. This was only ever a prototype, never to make production. Now there was another brand from Italy that made an amplifier in the early 90s that was a statement piece, and they actually produced them. Actually a couple hundred of these over the years. Let's take a closer look and see what we have. According to Audison, this was called the amplifier. That's right, this was their creme de la creme of audio amplifiers for the vehicle. Dual monoblock, solid wood trim, hand assembled, only the best quality that could be produced for car audio. If you look back in the March 1993 Car Audio and Electronics magazine, we'll see in the new products the Audison HR100. People were probably blown away by the suggested retail price of $5,500. Now going back to 1982, Audison released their first car audio product, the C800. However, their roots trace back to 1979 when a group of passionate electronics technicians and engineers from various backgrounds came together with a shared obsession for high-fidelity sound reproduction in vehicles. Fast forward to 1992, where the HR100 was introduced at Las Vegas CES show as well as SIM in Milan. As for release in the US, it didn't show up until the 1993 Car Audio and Electronics directory. Here we'll take a closer look. You'll see the price, $5,500, which is equivalent to $12,000 plus in 2026 when you account for inflation. The Audison HR100 combines a smooth, precision-machined aluminum chassis with dark walnut accents and copper detailing, creating an exterior that feels both technical and refined. The clean satin-finished metal body provides a modern, understated foundation. The rich walnut adds warmth and a handcrafted character. Top-quality components such as Elna capacitors, copper shielding, limited production, and a high price means don't ask unless you're a baller. These were wrapped in a velvet bag, yes, Elvis would approve, and placed in a 78-pound wooden crate. Seeing a picture or even a video does not give justice to this amplifier's amazing craftsmanship. From this walnut trim to the just massive, beefy heatsink that it's built around, it definitely exudes quality, as it should, based on the original price and even what they're going for today. Here on one end of the amplifier, we'll see the power inputs. There are separate power inputs for the left and right channels. They do use special connectors. We'll talk about those in a minute. In the middle, we have the remote or mute connections. They're separate again for left and right, so you have to use both if you want to power the amp up. And yes, these use the Anderson power pole connectors, 75 amp style, for the power and ground. Those who are in ham radios or solar will probably know these Anderson connectors because they're used a lot in both of those applications. Here are the 75 amp models, which are used for the power and ground. And the two connectors are actually separate, but they can slide together, which make it easy. Also, the remote and mute options here use smaller versions of the Anderson connectors. These are 30 amp style. I understand why Audison used these style connectors because they're very low resistance, and luckily they are readily available today, so if you need to get new ones for your amp, they are there. Now if we flip the amplifier around, we'll see the speaker outputs. These are once again the Anderson connectors. I'll show those here in a minute. And the RCA inputs here, Tiffany style. And the amplifier is said to handle loads from 16 ohms down to half an ohm per channel. So you have to stick around to the end and see what we actually load it down to and see if it survives. Now, this amplifier was lent to me from a friend and unfortunately did not have all these Anderson connectors for the speaker output, so I did have to order some, and I was in a time crunch and could not get the original Anderson. I had to get the knockoff style from Amazon. I did have some issue with these. I'll talk about it later in the video, but luckily I was able to get the amp up and working, both channels, and I was able to play some music as well as test it on the amp dyno. Of course, we'll get to that here shortly. We have to show you some more about the amp first. Let's do a fly over here on the top of the amp. You will see there's some Allen head screws there that hold down these top panels, and I'm going to take these off here momentarily so we can look under and see what's going on. First here, the one on the left is the controls. The one on the right covers up the LEDs. We'll show that as well. And here is the one for the controls on the left. And these are Alps style potentiometers. Very high quality adjustment from 0.15 to 1.5 volts. And these are detinted, and I'll let you hear that. On the right side of the face of the amp, we have the diagnostic LEDs. We have the power on as well as the protection LEDs. And what I love to see here is the power is green, protection is red. I do not like power on being red. That's just my personal preference. Thanks, Audison, for following my rules. As far as dimensions for a 200 watt amp, it's pretty big. 29.5 inches for the length, 9 inches for the width, and 2.2 inches for the height. Millimeter equivalents are there as well. Technicians will surely love this amp. In order to take the bottom off, you have to take off 2 separate panels. You have to take off each of the end panels. It takes about 30 minutes or so just to get the bottom off of these amps. Nonetheless, you will see on the bottom a statement that says this device has an unlimited warranty. Unlimited? What you say about that? That's pretty nice. Well, I guess if you spent $6,000 back in 1994 for an amplifier, having an unlimited warranty is a good thing. Well, Audison is still around. Will they still give you the warranty on this amp? I assume so, because it says unlimited. Now, on the bottom of the amp where it had this empty panel, it's supposed to have the warranty information. I would hope they would still warranty it without this card, but I'm hoping the owner of this will be able to get his warranty card so it can be warranted if it needs to be. These originally came with this 78-pound crate, which included Audison connectors, power cables, signal cables, speaker cables, fuse blocks, and other tidbits. So we do have it hooked up. Again, you're going to be hearing this through YouTube, but we will have some spectrum analyzing going on here from the acoustic RTA33, just for your viewing pleasure. And I'm going to get the pleasure to listen to this in person. So you guys are just going to have to listen to it through the video. So let's try a few songs. Have missed it. We haven't played Smokey's Lounge in a while, so let's play that. Here it goes. All right, guys, exciting times. We have the Audison HR100 ultra rare, ultra expensive sound quality Class A/Class AB amplifier hooked up to the amp dyno. We're going to try to get the true output numbers. Now, we have seen lots of tests in the magazines. We know about what to expect from this, but we're going to try it here anyway and see. This amp came out in 1995. It's 2026, so we're talking 31 years ago. And let's find out if it can put out its power. Hopefully it doesn't go up in smoke, but if it does, I have the camera here, so stay tuned and let's find out together. First up for testing, we'll try the 8 ohm mode. Now it's not rated into 8 ohms as far as the output power, but we're gonna check it out here. Certified to 1% distortion using the 1 kilohertz track, and we get about 73 watts per channel at 14.36. Now it is to note, we did see this in the magazine, and they tested up to clipping and got 79.6 watts at 14.4 in 8 ohms. So let's try it out to clipping here. We're gonna be a little bit under 14.4, but let's see what we get. How close we get to that 79. There you go, 74 watts per channel, 14.34. So not too bad when you consider it's 30 years after this other test is gone. Let's try the dynamic power mode. We'll send the pulse tone of 1 kilohertz into the amp. And there you can see we don't have a lot of dynamic headroom here. Pretty much stable across the board. 75 watts by 2 at 14.36. Now 4 ohms, the amp is rated 100 watts by 2. So let's try it at 4 ohms. Again, 1 kilohertz is the test track. Here we go, certified to 1% distortion and easily get the 100 by 2. We get like 133 watts average times 2 at 14.3. Now once again, if we go back and look at the magazine, they got 144 by 2 at 4 ohms at 14.4 at clipping. So let's try our test up to clipping and see what we get, how close we get to 144 by 2, and here you go. Oh man, about 137 by 2 at 14.3, so not too far off, just a couple of watts. Dynamically sending that pulse tone of 1 kilohertz into the amp at 4 ohms. Once again, we don't see any big dynamic jumps here. It means it has a very stable, very regulated power supply, 139 and 137. Now 2 ohms, it doesn't have any ratings provided, but it is stable at 2 ohms. So let's try the test here and see, can we get over 200 watts possibly at 2 ohms? Yes, we can. 227 and 218. Now once again, we're gonna look and find out what they got in the car stereo review test. They got 239.8 by 2 at 2 ohms up to clipping. So let's see how close we get to 240 watts by 2. We're going to do about 14.2 volts. And not too far off. We average about 230 watts times 2. So a little bit shy of what they got. But again, this is 30 years later. There's component tolerances, differences, and all that. And the dynamic test, we did get a little bit more power, but again, not much difference compared to the other tests. Now here are all the tests that we ran. You're welcome to pause this if you want to see everything, including the efficiency, which is kind of low. And of course, if you want to see the 1 ohm test, you have to watch to the very end of the video. Now I know some people may be thinking, why in the world would somebody have spent $6,000 on an amplifier that's only 100 watts by 2, maybe 200 by 2 at 2 ohms? Not big power. Well, what you have to remember is this is a Class A/Class AB amplifier, has the highest quality components available at the time, so much copper. Also, the dual power stage features impressive and very fast filtering capabilities, 34,000 microfarad total per branch. That's 26,000 for secondaries and 8,000 for the primaries. The electrolytic capacitors were made specifically to Audison specifications with high current, low ESR, and reduced parasitic inductance by the French company SLCE. While the smaller capacitors by Elna are known for their longevity, their quality, and also their reliability over the years. Now let's move on to the pros and cons of this $6,000 amp from the 90s, the Audison HR100. First up, the good stuff. Yes, it is a true dual monoblock audiophile grade car audio amplifier, extremely high quality, ultra rare, only a couple hundred made. It has incredibly low noise, Class A at low volume. It also handles loads from 0.5 ohm per channel up to 16 ohms per channel and has transparent sound as expected in such a high quality amplifier. Things to be aware of, it's not bridgeable. That's right, it's only a stereo amplifier. Low efficiency as expected from its architecture. Large footprint, make sure you got plenty of room to mount it. The power and speaker connectors are a bit of a pain. And yes, Expect to lay out the big bucks. Very expensive. Well, my friends, there you have the review of the Audison HR100, a quite amazing amplifier from the 1990s. Hugely expensive, definitely the most expensive production amplifier during the 90s as far as I know. If anybody knows of anyone more expensive, let me know in the comments below. Of course, the Phoenix Gold that never came to fruition, which we've done a video on. The JBL A6000, that was early 2000s. I'll leave links below to some of the other expensive amplifiers I've tested, but this one is definitely very unique. It's very cool, wood grain finish, so much copper, so much gold plating, so much awesomeness. Appreciate Russell for letting me borrow this one. I know I've had it for a little while. Appreciate your patience on me getting this video out. Took a lot of time, a lot of research, a lot of articles, a lot of testing and everything I did to put this video together. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Make sure you smash me a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel because it's free if you haven't already. And let me know if you want to see that other Audison that I kind of hinted on in the video. Yeah, we've got the other very expensive Audison here. We'd like to maybe test that one too. So let me know if you want to see that and what else you want to see. Till next time, thanks as always for watching. Big D, I'm out of here. This amp is rated 0.5 ohm per channel. We are not going that far down. In fact, we're just gonna do the 1 ohm test dynamically. We're not gonna run the certified test or anything, so let's try it out. 1 kilohertz burst.
This is not a Mickey Mouse program!
There you go, 369 watts per channel at 14.2 volts.